Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the Note 10 Plus 5G. We have some very different opinions on them.
Don't mind me, I'm just here for the free food. She promised me a free meal for sitting here.
We have some very different opinions.
Yeah, I like Golden Corral, by the way.
You don't even like Golden Corral.
Free meal, I do.
We've been using the iPhone and the Note both since they came out, so about 45 days for the iPhone and did we agree 3 months on the Note?
Team iPhone or Team Samsung? Team Samsung!
I'm both. I like both of them.
No, she loves Apple.
No, Samsung is actually way better,
But she loves Apple.
but I do use my iPhone more. So the iPhone I think is great if you compare it to the other iPhones. The camera is amazing,
No,
but
it's not.
only...
No, it's not. The camera is amazing if you're referring from the old Apple product.
That's what I was saying.
It's not an amazing camera. And it's personal preference at the end of the day, but the iPhone camera is not superior to any other camera.
The iPhone 11 camera is superior to the iPhone 6, 7, 8,
Of course, we're talking old technology. new
and X.
technology.
The iPhone is the best iPhone camera that iPhone has came out with yet. It has a night mode. Before this phone, any iPhone pictures taken at night were grainy and gray. Now you can actually take a decent picture at
And
night.
still be a little bit grainy and gray. Well,
No, it's
grainy
not.
and gray.
We compared this a few
Okay,
times.
the iPhone night mode pictures are nothing comparable to any other phone that's been doing night mode for 2 years.
You're a hater.
No, I'm being honest. I'm speaking from the average consumer, not the average Apple lover.
Okay, but the iPhone, we was downtown and we took some pictures of a brick wall. My pictures were equally as good as your pictures. You just didn't want to admit it.
There was, okay, let's say it was, and it wasn't. But let's for sake of argument, say that they were. Apple is praising old technology. Every other phone that came out before this 11 Pro Max that people are praising already had night mode. Period.
I agree with you. They're old. They're behind times. Apple is coming out with, was it a VR that we just read?
Yeah, it's
Apple's coming out with a VR this year, and everybody else already had VRs and
every,
stopped selling
every
them.
Apple fanatic praises Apple stuff with old technology.
I'm
Everything
not praising Apple
everything in that iPhone is old, but you're praising all the night mode. No, it's not.
I'm saying
And-
it's good. I'm not comparing it. I can't compare the iPhone to the Note because there's no comparison. But I'm comparing this iPhone to the iPhone like XS Max and to the X and to the 8. We've had every single one of them. This phone is better than all the other older iPhones. If you compare it to the old one, it's a complete night and day.
I wholeheartedly agree. But still, everything in there is old technology. Oh, everybody's praising, oh, it's got 3 cameras now. So what? You got 3 crappy cameras now. I mean, let's be honest.
But the camera itself, if you're comparing it to an old iPhone, is it good or is it bad?
Jumbo,
Haterade aside.
this is, okay, the XS Max camera was horrible.
Yes, I agree with you.
So you really can't compare that to the XS Max.
But is it a better camera? Yes or no?
Oh, yeah. It's a good camera.
That's the only point I'm making.
I can't take it away from that.
For an iPhone, it's the best iPhone that I think they've came out with. But I feel like the Pro model should have came out with a Pro model when they came out with the X.
This is not,
Or the 8.
A
We should have
Pro-
came out with the Pro model years ago. Even though I don't think this is necessarily a Pro phone.
it's not. No Pro phone has 4 gigs of RAM. And let's be honest, it just does. I don't care about the spec sheet. I don't care what the benchmark say and all that other stuff. You paying I paid $3,000 for 2 iPhones.
Yeah.
That's not Pro. The specs is not Pro. I don't care what numbers it's pulling. But to me, if somebody's going to pay $1,500 for something, you're paying $1,500 for hardware. Not
I
something
can agree with you, but the
software-based.
average consumer. Okay, so we have this debate a lot. I speak more on an average consumer kind of aspect. And I feel like you speak on more of the technical software side. And I know some of that stuff. I don't know what you know. But I agree with you. With 4 gigabytes of RAM, for 512 gigabytes of memory, that just doesn't, that's not a Pro phone.
No. And they add a 3rd camera and call it a Pro.
But, so the regular 11 has 4 gigabytes of RAM also?
Yeah.
I don't understand how your lowest model phone and your absolute highest Pro model phone can have the same amount of RAM. That doesn't equal.
I don't feel like, actually, none of these phones are worth $1,500. Every last phone that's right here is $1,500. If I'm paying $1,500, I should get something DSLR, period. It should be something equivalent to DSLR.
On a camera aspect, yes, I agree.
And that's
with
what the selling point is. The 2 selling points on any new high-end phone is screen and camera.
There's 2 different people. You have iPhone people and you have Samsung people. The people going, not Samsung, but Android. The people going to buy an iPhone aren't the people that are like, oh my God, how much RAM does this have? What are the specs on this? What is the benchmark on this? What is the gigahertz? Where are the other questions that you ask on a phone?
I don't ask those questions. I'm not
You don't ask the questions, but you know. You watch enough reviews and forums and stuff that you know. The average person doesn't know anything like that. The average person's like, oh my God, the new iPhone 11 Pro Max.
It has 3 cameras.
It has 3 whole cameras. Oh my God. And iMessaging and FaceTime. It's a win. That's what the average person. The average person goes and looks at the iPhone XR and thinks, liquid retina display. I've heard that a million times. It must be great.
That's just a
that's the average. That's the average person. But I think so. We've talked a lot about the iPhone. The Note has more RAM.
The Note to me is not worth the $1,500, but it's not as bad. It's not a kick in the balls. Like, you know what? You could. I don't feel constricted on the things I can do with the Note. Like, you can do anything. I mean, it's.
The Note is more of a like superior, like a pro phone. If you're like running a business or doing any type of technical stuff, you can definitely do all of that.
And it has nothing with the S Pen. I haven't even used it yet. I don't even think. I haven't even touched it since the day it came out.
I don't use my S Pen.
But if I had to choose, not everybody is able to have multiple daily drivers. And if I had to choose, I would choose a Note all day. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah, I think for value, like we went almost a year with it. We used the XS Maxes for I think like 2 months.
Yeah. And then
we didn't use the iPhone for a year by choice. We were using
the OnePlus. We had
OnePlus.
like 6 XS Maxes just sitting.
Yeah, we were using the OnePlus, the Pixel 3, and was it the Note 9 at the time?
Yeah, it was the Note 9, the Pixel 3 XL,
10.
and the OnePluses. Yeah. We had all the OnePluses.
If I had to like go into Verizon or AT&T or Sprint or anywhere, and I could buy one phone, I would definitely choose the Note, because with the Note you get the memory, you get the RAM, you get the speed. The speed tests are bananas. Like with the iPhone.
Yeah, let's not even get into that. $1,500, $1,500, and you're telling me I'm constricted to LTE when I'm walking around with 3 5G phones and the iPhone. I'm pulling. All right, Atlanta 1.6 with every other phone, but the iPhone pulls 150.
I think the 5G is a whole nother debate. We'll do that on another video. But I think with the iPhone, you're just stuck. Like when it comes to downloading, like you download a lot of third-party apps. You can't do any of that on the iPhone. You can't edit your but customize it, like themes and colors and all that like girly shit. You can't do that on the iPhone.
$1,500, and you're telling me I can't do what I want with this phone.
Yeah,
I can't.
It's locked completely. Like you can't change. Like iMessaging, if you could change the color of that, how cool would that be? You wouldn't care. But
people will have a shit fit if you could change the thing from blue.
Yeah.
They will lose their marbles. Like, I don't want to use iMessage no more. It's not blue no more.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, the options to, like, customize stuff. Like, oh, the iPhone just got dark mode. Was that last year? It got dark mode?
Yeah, guess what? Everyone else got dark mode.
Like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been a minute. But with the Note, we haven't talked about, they have the Samsung, the Dex software, where you can hook it right up to your computer and literally run everything off of your phone.
You can hook up to a monitor. You don't even need a computer. You're a walking laptop.
I definitely said that wrong. Yeah, you can hook up to a TV, monitor, anything, and run completely off. Like you don't even have to turn on your hotspot. You can turn your TV into a computer just by plugging your phone up and browsing the internet.
Guess how much the phone costs? It's $1,500.
The same price.
And at the end of the day, you're stuck with constrictions.
I thought the Note was a little bit cheaper than the iPhone.
Yeah, the 512 isn't. The 512 is like $1,450 or something like that.
So I think the iPhone definitely, it's a big improvement from last year. And
that's what you keep saying. We fight almost every day about this. It's a slight difference from the XS Max. When you put that phone in your hand, the only difference is
the
wider.
thing.
The phone is chunkier.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same. I'm telling customers not to even buy the Pro. Keep your XS Max. You got the exact same phone.
Yeah, after the updates and stuff, I would definitely say it's close. But the camera on the new phone is better.
You can't keep saying it's not. So you're telling me the phone's $1,500 because of the camera's better than last year?
No, I'm saying if you're going, your average consumer isn't going out and spending $1,500 anyways. They're doing the trade-up programs that all the carriers are offering, and you're essentially like paying a car payment on your phone now.
Yeah, and if that's the case, why? If you had other options, and you do, why would you settle for the iPhone? You're.
I'm not saying I would.
It's cheap. It's cheap. I don't understand. At the end of the day.
The iPhone's an iPhone.
It's not just the Note. The Mate 30, the Mate 20, all the phones that we had in between, I would choose them. Let's not even talk about the OnePlus 7.
Yeah, the OnePlus 7 is way better.
The 7 Pro, half the price. Literally half the price. Triple the specs.
At the end of the day, iPhone is the iPhone. That's all it is. I don't know what to say. It's a good phone, but it's not as good as everything else. It's technically like a polished version of an old phone.
I wouldn't say a good phone. And I'm not saying.
I'm speaking. He's an iPhone hater. I don't hate
iPhone. I don't hate Apple. I don't. And let's be honest. I don't like what they do to people. They just now putting a fast charge in the box, which makes no damn sense. From type is lightning to Type C. Where's the logic? I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's just
that doesn't make any sense.
we want you to spend more money. That's all we're doing. We want you to spend more money. That's
It
all
is
we're
a
gonna
money
keep
pit.
doing.
I would say that. Like, it definitely is a money pit. I still think, like, if you're going to buy an iPhone, the newer ones are a better option than an older one. Just because most people aren't going to have a Note to take a good picture with. Or so if you're going to buy an iPhone, the newer iPhone is the better option because of the camera.
You can keep the XS Max. The XS Max is taking equivalent pictures to that.
No, it's not. You already said earlier in the video that it had a shitty camera. But that camera is not shitty. We did enough comparison.
Honestly, I can't. All right.
The only thing is you're in denial about the iPhone
I'm
having
not
any
being
good
denial.
quality. This is what every...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm on neutral ground with the phones.
That's why you
but
don't
I
never touch that
can't-
phone. If you're on neutral ground, you don't ever touch
I
that.
touch that phone all the time. It is a way faster phone than the iPhone. If I'm running hotspot or anything, I run off that phone. Videos, editing, Google Photos, everything is on that phone. You are a classic representation of people that hate iPhones.
What was that? It's like nagging.
Nagging?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. And let's set aside the price, set aside the old technology. The phone is okay.
Why do you have such a hard time admitting
It's a million other
that
phones.
they actually improved
It is a
something
million
on it?
other phones you can buy, not based off improvement.
Okay, but if you just like iPhones for the iPhones are simple. That's why people like them.
Simplicity has nothing to do with it.
No,
It's-
Android
okay.
is complex for that. For someone that's like older getting a phone or
People's problem is with Android. This is what people's problem is with Android. They go and buy the cheapest Android phone and want $1 million
I agree with
specs.
this.
So that's why people gravitate to the older iPhones or iPhone period, because it's simple and it's it's not a lot of trouble. But if people would use if they use, I don't want to say that. If they get a higher end Android phone, they won't feel as like they got raped. I think if they spend a couple extra dollars on an Android phone, like right now, the OnePlus 7T, $550 starting off, phenomenal phone. It's simplistic. It's not a bunch of gimmicks. It's not a bunch of apps. It's simplistic. It's Android.
With OnePlus though, OnePlus is new to the market, so people don't know really about OnePlus. Like, all right, when we first met, you got the OnePlus 2 or something.
No, it's the OnePlus.
OnePlus 1, and I made a joke of it. I was like, OnePlus 1, that's 2. Like, that's not a phone. People still don't know OnePlus. It's not corny. It's true. People still.
No.
Your
OnePlus
average
is
person-
killing the market, whether people want to admit it or not.
Oh,
OnePlus is
They're
murdering
killing
the
it,
market.
but they're not killing it because they go in T-Mobile and say, "Hey, I want the OnePlus." They're going in there
Their sales
with a budget,
tripled.
and people are
Oh,
selling
what
that
else
phone
is-
to them.
OnePlus has a footprint now in the United States.
People like us are going in and buying the OnePluses. People that are slightly into technology are going to buy the OnePluses. But your average person isn't going into, like, say, T-Mobile, be like, "Hey, I want the OnePlus." I think they're getting sold a lot of OnePluses.
I wouldn't agree with both parts of that sentiment, but it's the price that's more attractive to people. So a
But-
lot of people who don't know about the phone, like, oh, $550.
But Google came out with a 3A this year.
And
so I think that will give people a new outlook
a
on.
fraction of what that phone costs and twice as good.
I agree with you.
The
So I think
3A.
you're right, though. People get the shittiest Android, like the $25 one. Don't they have like $25
They got the free ones. Like, people still offer the free phone.
at like Metro and
So
Walmart
people-
and stuff like that. So that's what their preconception is off of an Android phone, is a phone like that. But I think with Google especially coming out with the 3A starting at $399, that's a way to give people a new light into like an Android phone.
The ball's rolling with budget phones, and this is my opinion. Honestly, I don't got Apple still doing $1,500 phones 2-3 years from now. I don't
I
have
doubt
that
that.
happening. And what they're trying to do is add more colors and just charge a couple extra dollars. At the end of the day, this budget ball is rolling, and it's rolling
Mhm.
fast. So, and if you pay attention, Apple sales is not as good as they used to be.
Yeah, that's because they won't release the numbers till they're forced
And
to.
not only that, Huawei hasn't
True.
even sold a phone in the United States, and they are now the second behind Samsung. And it's
I
for a
would say
reason.
that's true.
It's because they appeal to everyone, not just people who have $1,500. They appeal
I
to
would say
everyone, and their phones are all across the board simplistic. I mean,
I think the only way that Apple like tried to crack the like budget phone market was with the SE.
yeah, the SE, but
But I
and
don't
when they
think,
came out with the SE, they was greedy. They were still
Yeah.
greedy. It's not a budget phone. It's still $500-$600.
Yeah.
They don't understand what budget is.
they're not trying. I don't even know what to say about
They're
Apple.
not
It's a-
appealing to the customer. They're appealing
Yeah.
to their pockets. And a lot of the other companies are appealing to the actual consumer. We don't care. Like the
OnePlus
Paco. The
takes-
Paco one, $350 out the box. phenomenal
OnePlus
phone.
is one of the companies that takes actually what their customers want
They take every single
and
word.
put it back into their phones.
Yeah, and they're asking and seeking help from their consumers.
Mm-hmm.
Apple don't care. Like, just give me my $1,500, take your phone, and we'll see you next year when the battery goes back. I mean,
even when you take like when the XS Maxes came out, they immediately had a battery issue, and we took them in there, and the Apple employees, they brush it off like it's no big deal. They will, you don't have an appointment, they'll push you to the front of the
that
line
was funny.
just so, like, this happened to
Just
us.
so you shut up.
We walked into a store. It was a crowded Apple store. And
That's the day after the XS Max.
yep, told them the battery was having issues, it was overheating, and you could physically see it on the back of the phone where the battery had started to swell. We go in the Apple store, they push us immediately in front of every single customer there, just so, and they try to make sure you, like, don't say anything out loud. They put us in, like, that corner. Yeah, they put us in, like, a corner.
Darkest, quietest part of the Apple store.
And they switched out the phone, and that was, we've had a lot of experience with the Apple store, and that was the quickest in and out ever, I think.
Yep, it was.
It was immediately
20 minutes
but
max.
When the iPhone 7 came out, I broke my phone, remember, the next day? But when you walk in there, if it's your fault, we had to wait like 3 days to get that phone fixed. But I was amazed with it. If they have problems, they try to like brush that under the rug like real quick.
Yeah, they're more worried about their image. They don't care about the consumer. And the best thing that came out of Apple, and this is my honest words, the best thing that came out of Apple was the iPad Pro.
I agree with
No, I wouldn't say. That's the best thing. That's the best thing that came out of the factory.
I use the iPad Pro a lot for drawing, but I would say the iPad Pro is still better than this phone.
Yes.
Now, granted, excuse me, not taking pictures and stuff like that with the iPad Pro. Even though you can, we tested the video quality out, and it was actually pretty good.
It was shockingly good. That's the best thing. And I don't understand how that came out, last year? Last October?
Last October or November.
Yeah, and that is better than the Pro phone. It's better than the 11 Pro Max.
The iPad Pro is the longest, and we have the iPad Pro with the Apple keyboard and the pencil. That is the longest we've had an Apple product, I would say.
Actually, the longest we've ever used an Apple product.
Yeah, I've used that tablet more than, and we had 2 of them. I've used that tablet more than any other tablet I've ever had.
That was worth it.
We are completely off topic from the iPhone.
Just in general curious.
It's not just Apple and Samsung. It's not apples and oranges here.
But
this is consumer versus these big companies. If I'm going to give my money to a big company, I want to give it to a company where I feel as if I'm getting my money's worth.
We got off topic there for a few.
No, I don't think we did. I honestly think we was.
True.
It was the purpose of the videos. Not just Apple versus Samsung, but Apple versus average consumer.
I think the biggest thing, like, we watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I think the biggest thing is everyone's either pro Apple or pro Samsung. Even the big reviewers that give reviews on like
Some
a
of them
Samsung,
are biased.
yeah, you can still even if they're trying not to be, you can tell that they're biased. Like you, for instance, if I asked you if you like them, I would say you're always biased towards anything but Apple.
I'm not biased towards Apple. I'm biased towards how they treat people.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right for somebody to walk in the Apple store. Let me get your best iPhone possible for $1,500, and then I can't do nothing with it. I get in the car, talk, text, internet. That's it.
2-factor verification. You got
Oh yeah.
I believe if you want the best smartphone possible, and it like for the value, it's not going to be either one of these phones.
Honestly, the best phone possible is a budget phone. The OnePlus, even the Huawei, some of the Huawei's, the Honor 6, the Honor 7, the 6A. The budget world is taking over, and I don't think Apple can keep up. Samsung has some really, really good budget phones. The A50s, the 70s, the 80s. Their A series is a very budget-friendly phone. And as I said, got fingerprints, the in-screen fingerprint sensor, the triple camera setup, 48 megapixels, blah, blah, blah. It has all that good stuff. And it's still a fraction of what Apple has. Apple's not doing that. The 11 is not a budget-friendly phone, if you ask me.
But we're focusing on Apple, and at the same time, Samsung is the same exact way. The Note, I mean, granted, we do get the ones with the highest capacity, so that's why I keep saying 1,500, 1,400, stuff like that. There are cheaper versions if you want like 64 gigabytes of memory, or I don't even know what the lowest the Note comes in.
That's the thing. The lowest is 128. Apple's not doing that. Their lowest is 64, and the regular.
But at the same time, the regular Note still starts at what, $999?
$899.
$899. I don't keep track of every single thing.
It's still at
for
the end of the day. So
$899.
let's say $899 for the Note, or $899 for the iPhone 11, $799, $899, whatever price is. At the end of the day, I'd still rather put my money on the phone where I don't feel constricted to using.
We're comparing the most expensive models, but I know a lot of people don't have the most expensive models. So even comparing the lowest models, I still don't think you would choose either one of these phones. I think we would go for like the OnePlus 7 Pro or something like that. Because for OnePlus 7 Pro, it was what, $700?
Mm-hmm. Now the highest one, the 12 gigabyte one, was $769. That's the one I had.
Yeah.
And still, I use that more than I use the iPhone.
Yeah, the OnePlus was great. I was addicted.
Yeah.
I kept the OnePlus for probably like 4 or 5 months, and we don't ever keep phones that long. But I think when we're comparing these models, I don't think like if you were to take the Note and compare it to like the iPhone, the regular iPhone 11, that's no comparison.
Yeah. I'm not biased towards Apple. I don't feel like I should pay upgradable prices for old technology. That's my biggest problem. I don't have a problem with the phone. I really don't. But when you pick it up, to the average person, they think they got all the greatest stuff. But to people like us, we got every single phone out. It's an old phone. It just came out September 25th, and it's an old phone.
I don't know why, but I feel like, so there's a noticeable size difference between these, of course. I feel like this is a heavier iPhone than we had before.
That one is chunkier and for the battery.
But comfort-wise, I am more comfortable, even though it's a bigger phone. The Note is a little bit slim. Actually, it's not.
Yeah, the Note 10 is thinner than the iPhone.
It feels, this with a pop socket on the back, I think is more comfortable to hold than this is. Granted, I don't have a pop socket on this one, but I don't know. I like both of them.
And at the end of the day, you'll choose iPhone.
I don't think I'll choose iPhone. I am fortunate enough to have both of them. But if I could have one of them, I would choose the Note. Just because there's a whole lot more that can be done with this. The Note is a whole lot more reliable.
Continue. I'm listening.
The Note is a whole lot more reliable. Mm-hmm. It pulls better speeds. It has better camera, better video. We can get all like the hacked apps and stuff on the Note. Like, I just feel like the Note is a way better phone all around. So if I were to go to one phone, I would choose Samsung. I'm not even sure if I would choose Samsung. I would choose probably the OnePlus.
I would choose OnePlus. If I had to buy just one phone, I would choose OnePlus.
I think I would choose it. I think I've been against Samsung for like a good year now.
Since the
because
they follow Apple's playbook. We're going to get the exact same phone.
Yeah. They're not making any changes. The colors are starting to stay the same. Like, they came out with that purple color. I don't like the color purple, so I didn't like it to begin with. But then they carried that ugly purple color through like 2 or 3 more phones. And that pissed me off. I think Samsung used to make so many changes year to year to year. And now they're like, let's tweak it just a little bit phone to phone to phone.
Yeah, everybody's following suit with Apple.
This is the worst mistake ever. This is like an OCD nightmare.
Honestly, I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I like the triple camera.
Out of all the things you like the way that looks.
To me, I think they try to take my away and polish it, but they didn't.
No, they should have did it in the middle. The middle would have been.
I can't even. What really bothered me about the old iPhones is when you took a picture from iPhone looked fantastic. iPhone to Mac, it looked fantastic. But when you took that picture off that iPhone and put it on anything other than
this is accurate.
You put it on anything else outside of the Apple ecosystem, it was horrible. But I can't say that with the 11 Pro Max, the 11 series period. You take that picture and it looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you put it on Google Photos and open it on another phone, or you put it on the computer,
that was my biggest gripe with Apple, because everybody felt like Apple's cameras is inferior. Superior. Everybody thought Apple was superior. It's Apple. They take the best pictures. Look at it, and of course it's going to look fantastic on that phone or on a MacBook or anything Apple related. But once you started putting it into other software that's not related to Apple, those pictures was horrible. But when I took those pictures and I put them on the computer, that was probably the best thing Apple done.
We've had a thing where we'll go out sometimes and you'll just meet people and you'll start talking about phones or something like that. Or usually, since we have more than one phone, it's something that people always ask about. And you'll always ask people, what phone takes the best pictures? Remember?
And everybody always said Apple.
Everybody says iPhone. But then we've actually broken out and show them like the comparison. Like, we'll take same pictures with multiple phones and show them the comparison, or even like a selfie comparison. This just happened a few weeks ago in Atlanta. And we showed them a selfie comparison. They're like, oh my God, Apple's the absolute best.
And she had the 11.
But then, yeah, she did have the 11. And then, no, she had the 8. She was getting the 11, wasn't it?
No, it was 11. It was the Red 11. No, the XR was the XR.
Yeah, it was the XR or something.
Same difference. The XR is the 11. But yeah.
Did the XR come in red?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was the XR. I'm thinking the XS Max. So she had the XR, best pictures in the world. Handed her this phone, turned the camera on, and said, "Take a selfie."
She don't want her phone no more.
And the selfie looked amazing. Like, the quality of the pictures, you'll blow somebody's mind that has an iPhone and has only ever had an iPhone.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people aren't fortunate enough to know that Apple is not superior. Yep. And this is personal preference, but Apple is not superior when it comes to photography. They're just not. And
I agree with that.
There's no one, phone that is superior to photography. But Apple is not, top.
Their new phone is better, but it's not the best.
I can name any phone that's under $1,000 that's better than every phone that we have, honestly.
The Samsung, the S7, was the first camera that blew my mind
Mhm.
at the water park.
Yep, you never want to touch
Taking
the iPhone
pictures.
again.
And I had, was that when the iPhone 6 was out, or the 7 was about to come out? The 6S was out. The pictures that it took of water, like at a water park, like you could see the droplets in the air, blew my mind. That's when I realized iPhone took
And
shitty
that's
ass
when you stopped
pictures.
arguing with me. You stopped arguing right then about how superior Apple was until you took that very picture.
Yep. I want to
But
find
it's
those pictures.
consistency, though. It's
Yeah.
the hardest thing with phones now is consistency, period. I mean, you could take one phenomenal picture and you won't get another one just like it. Like, who knows
I think
when?
that is a big thing. Like software on cameras is, it can have really good software, be questionable. Like the Note, even like you can take like 2 or 3 pictures and they'll all look completely different. When we took those pictures downtown at night that night, when I had on the
They
neon
was all,
shirt,
it was
every single picture we took looked completely different, and they were all in the same mode. Just scrolling through them, it looks like you were just taking them with different.
yeah, it's hard to get consistency, and I feel
Especially
like
at night or when the light's low.
I think they all dropping the ball when it comes to that. We're all paying all. I don't care if the phone's $700-800. If it's comparable to a DSLR camera, and that's what people buy. They're not jam packing these phones with so many different specs and all that stuff. They base off the screen and the camera. They don't even care about the battery life no more. Nobody does. They want screen, camera. So these companies are doing everything they power to jam pack all this stuff in the screen and all in the camera. And I feel as if you're charging people this much money, give them something equivalent. It's not enough. You're not going to tell me you're making all these billions of dollars quarter after quarter, and you can't provide me something besides this. You know, you can give me something comparable to DSLR. You can give me something that is consistent.
Well, the OnePlus now has macro mode.
Yeah.
So that's something. I was taking pictures of nails the other day, and it's impossible. No, the tattoo.
Yeah.
I was taking a picture of the tattoo, and there's a tiny little tattoo. The iPhone would not focus whatsoever to take a picture and show him. I had to. I used the Note to take the picture, and you could see everything down to like where you shave your legs, the hair. I don't even know, the follicles, I guess. You could see every little teeny tiny detail and skin imperfection.
It's personal preference. I mean, you can't say Apple's better than Samsung.
Yeah.
You just can't. But when it comes to price, that's when you can say, this is better than this. This has more value than this. At the end of the day, we paid about the same price for each phone. And I don't feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of that phone. I just don't.
Let's be real. Why do you use an iPhone?
Because of you. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't touch it. We live together. And she loves the blue messaging. Live together. Wake up next to each other every day.
Much.
Don't text at all.
I don't even talk about the blue messaging no more, but it used to be the biggest deal to me.
That RCS stuff, when that kicks in, Apple might lose a couple of people.
So let's wrap it up because it's going to take me forever to edit this, and we keep going way off topic.
End of the day. All right. So at the end of the day, it's all about personal preference. You can argue up and down all day long about who is better. It's just personal preference.
I agree with that.
Personally, my preference is the better value. I don't care how much the phone costs. Just make sure I'm getting what I pay for.
So out of these two, you're team Note. I'm team in the middle.
Samsung.
I like both of them.
I don't.
I do use my iPhone more because of everything logged in. Note is still my favorite if I had to choose.
But you don't have to choose, so that's the thing.
So I like both.
There's days where you'll forget the Note.
No, I don't.
Oh, wait a minute.
I gotta go back and get my
Note.
No, I always grab them at the same time. If we're going in somewhere and I don't have a pocket, it's hard for me to carry 2 phones a lot.
I got tiny hands.
Just give up one and
No, I'm good.
save me some money.
Nope. I'll keep both. So, hope you enjoyed this. We have the goofiest rants going back and forth about stuff that, like cell phones that we both have. And
It's
5G.
It's
5G.
A lot of people are not gonna like this video, but at the end of the day, it's still personal preference. You can't put, a debate on personal preference.
Nope. The Apple's gonna have to step their game up to stay in the game.
Huawei's killing it. Huawei's about to be #1, and
Yeah,
they
could be sold in the U.S.
There's no
but
more
since we have
footprint in the United
President
States.
Trump.
There's no footprint in the United States, and they are still #2. They still outsold Apple in all markets except for the United States, and Apple is everywhere. They pulled out of India.
And that's why we don't have them. Trump.
Yeah.
Trump is fucking up the electronics world.
Y'all have no idea how good Huawei is. When I touched that, what the P20
It's the
was,
P20.
man, the P20, I still have pictures from
In
the P20
California.
that kills every picture I've
Yeah.
taken with the 11 Pro Max.
We took a road trip to California. We have the most amazing pictures from the P20. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like,
Subscribe to what? I don't have no subscription. I had Sports Illustrated once. What? To Sports Illustrated?
no, subscribe to this.
Oh. Subscribe to this channel. That's supposed to say next time.
No, that's good.
All right, cool. Subscribe to this channel, I'll beat you up.
Like, subscribe. You can comment if it's not dumb.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of comments, and people are just disrespectful.
If you want to comment something dumb, just don't comment at all. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. we're going to do probably another little debate. 5G.
Yeah.
5G from the
Oh, that's
consumer
another argument right there.
versus the nerd. That's what we should call the series: consumer versus nerd.
Prefer Smarties.
I like Smarties.
Yeah, we prefer to be called Smarties. Nerds is
The candy.
nerds are disrespectful. We think that's disrespectful to all nerds. And this is just from
So you're not talking about the candy.
this come from the fellow nerds. They don't, we
You have a group of nerds.
everybody is nerds. Nerds are everywhere. Did you do it again? Stop calling nerds.